What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Wednesday, January 20th, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Cheryl Boone Isaacs, the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science, says she is heartbroken by the lack of diversity among recent Oscar nominees. For the past 2 years, all 20 of the nominees in the Oscar acting categories were white. African-American actors Jada Pinkett Smith and filmmaker Spike Lee announced Monday they would not attend this year's Chris Rock-hosted Oscar ceremonies and encouraged other artists of color to also boycott the event, in protest of the omission of the critically acclaimed films such as Creed and Straight Outta Compton for the Best Picture race, and actors like Will Smith and Idris Elba for the acting nominations shortlist. Isaac said in a statement Monday night, "I'd like to acknowledge the wonderful work of this year's nominees. While we celebrate their extraordinary achievements, I am both heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion. This is a difficult but important conversation, and it's time for big changes. The Academy is taking dramatic steps to alter the makeup of our membership. In the coming days and weeks, we will conduct a review of our membership recruitment in order to bring about much-needed diversity in our 2016 class and beyond. As many of you know, we have implemented changes to diversify our membership in the last 4 years, but the change is not coming as fast as we would like. We need to do more and better and more quickly. This isn't unprecedented for the Academy. In the 1960s and 1970s, it was about recruiting younger members to stay vital and relevant. In 2016, the mandate is inclusion in all of its facets: gender, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. We recognize the very real concerns of our community, and I so appreciate all of you who have reached out to me in our efforts to move forward together." Actress Kate Winslet says Leonardo DiCaprio may be the one taking home an Oscar for this year's Academy Awards despite her work with nominee Michael Fassbender. Speaking with the BBC at the London Critics Circle Films Awards Sunday night, Winslet, who co-starred with DiCaprio in 1997's Titanic and 2008's Revolutionary Road, said this year may be a winning year for the actor. The Steve Jobs actress said of her longtime friend, "I think you can sort of feel it, and I think that everyone wants it for him. It would be amazing." She also added, "It's also slightly difficult for me too because Michael Fassbender has been nominated and I was his right-hand woman for 3 months while we were making Steve Jobs, and I saw how hard he worked. I think his performance is so extraordinary, but I think, yeah, you can sort of feel the temperature. It's probably going to be Leo's year." As colleagues discussed DiCaprio's chances of winning the Oscar over the likes of fellow nominees Fassbender, Bryan Cranston, Matt Damon, and Eddie Redmayne, the 41-year-old celebrity has been discussing his future roles. Speaking with German's Welt am Sonntag, DiCaprio says he'd love to play Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling the role very, very, very interesting. The actor continued, according to International Business Times, "Lenin 2 would be an interesting film role. I would play Rasputin too. I believe that there should be more movies about Russian history. Russia unites so many stories almost of Shakespearean characters. For an actor, that's extremely exciting." The two previously met in 2010 at a conference discussing protection of the Siberian tiger when they spoke, quote, "only about the protection of these magnificent animals, not politics." Comedian Hannibal Buress didn't expect such extensive fallout following a joke he performed calling Bill Cosby a rapist. Speaking during the Television Critics Association press tour Sunday, Buress called the aftermath of the joke and the public's response to Cosby as weird. Buress, who is present to promote his upcoming Netflix special, said, according to Variety, "I do a lot of shit. It's weird that it happened like that. I was calling a bunch of other comedians rapists, and that was the only one people that took seriously. That's just one joke people took and really ran with it." In October 2014, a mobile phone video showing Buress on stage discussing Cosby's contradictory message went viral. During the interview with the press, Buress sat next to fellow comedians John Mulaney and Patton Oswalt, also preparing for special releases on Netflix. Oswalt asserted Hannibal was doing fine without the Bill Cosby jokes. He'll be sitting here now if that had not happened. He was on a trajectory already as far as being bulletproof as a comedian. Burress has in the past said he hadn't meant his Cosby joke to have garnered so much attention. In November of last year, he described himself as an accidental whistleblower on the matter of the multitude of rape allegations against Cosby. He told Entertainment Weekly at the time, "The media put me too much at the front of that shit. I was just doing a show." Comic book legend Stan Lee is confident that one day characters from Star Wars and the Avengers could appear together on screen. According to Lee, Disney, the studio who owns both properties, could find a way to make it happen due to the potential box office revenue such a crossover would generate. Lee said in the latest issue of The Big Issue, "Obviously the people who produce these movies are looking to be as successful as possible. If they feel that incorporating Star Wars with the Marvel characters will be very successful, they'll find a way to do it. Can you imagine Spider-Man saying, 'May the Force be with you'? It may come to that." He also continued by saying, "I created the Avengers by taking many of our characters and making a team out of them. We can have as many characters joining the Avengers as we want for future movies. That might be fun. All of a sudden, Luke Skywalker is an Avenger." No stranger to crossovers, Marvel is gearing up for two big Universal-spanning films, Captain America Civil War, which will feature Spider-Man for the first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the unifying Avengers Infinity War, which directors Joe and Anthony Russo says will feature 67 characters. With Spider-Man finally able to join the fold after Marvel struck a deal with the web-slinger's right holder, Sony, Lee thinks it's only a matter of time before other characters like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, who are tied to Fox, also appear in a Marvel film. Lee said, "It'll be the most expensive film ever produced. I don't know how many characters you can have in a movie, but anything that the public wants to see, you can be sure it will eventually be produced." The new mid-season trailer for Star Wars Rebels has excited fans of the popular animated series for its possible connections to Star Wars The Force Awakens. The action-packed footage features main hero Ariza Bridger activating a green crossguard lightsaber very similar to the one used by Force Awakens antagonist Kylo Ren. As supervising director Dave Filoni explained, the weapon is being introduced to the show as a visual homage to the new film. Filoni said in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, "I want to put a nod to this new history we're seeing in The Force Awakens. It's important to have these links between stories in major ways and subtle ways. Here you find a sword we've encountered before, and it gives a little more context to something that turns up later." Fans were also quick to point out that a mysterious masked figure featured in the trailer sounds like Kylo Ren's master, Supreme Leader Snork, something that Filoni will not confirm or deny. He said, "For anyone in Star Wars, I think one of the questions you're going to get asked is that Snork? It's one of the mysteries right now. So anybody could be seen as Snork," he says. He continued by saying that's part of the mystery, part of the fun. There will be so much more to talk about once this stuff is out. Star Wars fans are brilliant about running with stuff. Give them a tiny little kernel, and they will run all over the way to the finish line and practically produce a whole trilogy in their minds. That's why I love them. They are a creative group. Seth Rogen and Zac Efron are back in the comedy sequel Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising. In the film's first trailer released Tuesday, Mac, played by Rogen, and his wife Kelly, played by Rose Byrne, are seen enlisting the help of former enemy Teddy, played by Efron, in order to drive away a new sorority that has moved in next door and has yet again kept their family from achieving peace and quiet. The synopsis says, now that Mac and Kelly Radner have a second baby on the way, they are ready to make the final move into adulthood, the suburbs. But just as they thought they reclaimed the neighborhood and were safe to sell, they learned that the new occupants next door are a sorority even more out of control than Teddy and his brothers ever dream of being. The new clip features a group of sorority leaders led by Shelby, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, who is tired of their school's sexist Greek system, which won't allow the girls to party. The group retaliates by forming a new house focused on throwing the craziest parties imaginable. The synopsis continues by saying, tired of their school's sexist restrictive system, the unorthodox ladies of Kappa Nu have decided to start a house where they can do whatever the hell they want. When Shelby and her sisters, Beth, played by Kiersey Clemens, and Nora, played by Beanie Feldstein, find the perfect place just off campus. They won't let the fact that it's located on a quiet street stand in their way of parties as epic as the guys throw. The original 2014 film was a massive comedy hit, breaking records and bringing in more than $270 million worldwide. Directed by a returning Nicholas Stoller, Neighbors 2: Sorority Rising is set to hit theaters on May 20th. Pee-wee Herman is returning to the small screen in Netflix's original comedy revival, Pee-wee's Big Holiday. Netflix unveiled the release date and the first trailer for the project Tuesday, which featured a returning Paul Reubens as the iconic man-child waking up and getting ready for the day by launching himself through his roof and onto a pair of skis. Being produced by Reubens and Judd Apatow, the film also stars Joe Magliano, Jessica Poli, Alia Shawkat, and is directed by Wonder Showzen creator John Lee. The film's official description reads, "A fateful meeting with the mysterious stranger inspires Pee-wee Herman to take his first ever holiday in this epic story of friendship and destiny." Maisie Williams has sparked rumors concerning Game of Thrones character Jon Snow, teasing his potential return to the hit fantasy drama. Speaking with the upcoming while on the red carpet for the London Film Critics Circle Awards, Williams, who won the Young British-Irish Performer of the Year award for her role in The Falling, spoke about Snow's rumored return, calling it a great twist. She said, "I feel so mean because I speak to people and they're all like, 'Jon Snow, is he back?' And it's like really heartbreaking because people are like, 'Yeah, but is he coming back though?' It's a great twist, but I can't say he's going to be alive," the actress said. Williams also joked that character Arya Stark's storyline during last year's Season 5 wasn't as exciting as some fans had hoped. She said, "I feel like a lot of people were watching that going, what's going on? Why is Arya still sweeping floors?" And I was kind of like that too when I was reading the scripts, like, why am I still sweeping floors? She said before mentioning how eventually the story arc paid off. These latest comments on Snow's fate come after HBO has started using the character's likeness in promos for the upcoming 6th season, despite showrunner Dan Weiss famously telling Entertainment Weekly in June that dead is dead. Throne star Emilia Clarke was less forward with information about Jon Snow recently at HBO's Golden Globe party, but teased to E! News that Season 6 will feature the biggest moments on television that have ever existed. Game of Thrones Season 6 is set to premiere April 24th on HBO. Tracy Morgan continued his comeback by appearing on The Tonight Show to talk to host Jimmy Fallon about all the things he missed while recovering from a car crash in 2014. Morgan kicked things off on Monday's show by joking about being in a coma after the accident, thanked Fallon for beating David Letterman in the ratings, before he was shocked to learn that Letterman had long since retired. He said, "I like that dude. I'm going back in the coma." The comedian threatened to a laughing Fallon. When asked how it must be weird to miss things while in a coma, Morgan agreed, saying, "Things are different since waking up. Donald Trump is leading in the polls. I'm going back." Morgan then discussed how John Boyega's character in Star Wars The Force Awakens left a good union job as a stormtrooper and how things could have played out differently if The Godfather took place during modern times. He said, "Let me tell you something. Sonny would have lived if they had Easy Pass," the 47-year-old mentioned. Morgan also confessed his love for classic movies and Barbra Streisand, saying, "I wish we could have gotten married, but it didn't work out. We had kids together, though. Barbara, I love you." Later on, the former 30 Rock star put the jokes aside and shared a touching story about how his 2-year-old daughter, Maven Morgan, inspired him to walk again during his recovery. He said, "I remember I was in that wheelchair and she was 14 months and I had seen her take her first steps, and it inspired me to get out of the wheelchair and take my first steps." In December, the Walmart truck driver who crashed into Tracy Morgan's limo van, killing Morgan's friend James McNair, was charged with aggravated manslaughter and vehicular homicide. Replacement Top Gear host Chris Evans recently showed signs of experiencing car sickness while filming a segment on the BBC show in California. Photos of the British celebrity bent over the side to the road next to an Audi R8 V10 vehicle in which he was filming with new co-host Sabian Schmitz was published in various UK tabloids over the weekend. Several reports say the 49-year-old host was seen throwing up after exiting the car, which was filmed on a Monterey, California racetrack. A source said to The Sun, "It would be unfair to expect them to be perfect right from the word go, but how can someone who gets carsick possibly host Top Gear?" The statements echoed the sentiments of many fans on social media, some of whom have criticized Evans since he was named former host Jeremy Clarkson's replacement for the hit BBC show last year. Miley Cyrus and ex-fiancé Liam Hemsworth has sparked new engagement rumors. The 23-year-old American singer sent fans into a frenzy by sharing a photo of herself wearing a diamond ring Monday on Instagram. The sparkler appeared to be the 3.5-carat engagement ring Hemsworth gave her in 2012. Cyrus was spotted with the U-Haul truck outside Hemsworth's home over the weekend, leading some to believe she is moving in. Sources told TMZ the singer moved her things into the 26-year-old Australian actor's Malibu house over the past week. Cyrus and Hemsworth were previously together for 4 years but called off their engagement in 2013. The couple reunited for New Year's Eve and were seen at the Falls Music Festival in Byron Bay, Australia days later. A source subsequently told People magazine, Miley never got over Liam. Despite them constantly fighting before the split, Miley always said Liam is the love of her life. There were so many things that she loved about their relationship. Hemsworth's brother Chris Hemsworth dodged questions about the rumored couple during an interview Tuesday on the Kylie and Jackie O show. The 32-year-old actor, who was recently named a global ambassador to Tourism Australia, said he didn't know if the engagement is back on. Cyrus last released Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets in August and completed her accompanying tour in December. Hemsworth will star in Independence Day Resurgence and is also slated for By the Way of Helena with Woody Harrelson. Diana Agron and boyfriend Winston Marshall are reportedly engaged. Sources told Us Weekly the 29-year-old American actress and 27-year-old English musician got engaged over the holidays. The couple have been linked since the summer. Agron appeared to hint at the happy news January 4th, tweeting, "Hope everyone had a gorgeous holiday season. Happy 2016. Couldn't be more excited over here." She also shared a photo of herself and Marshall looking into a sunset, writing, "Old friends, new memories, Happy New Year." Insiders told the magazine Agron seemed really happy with Marshall when the pair attended the She's Funny That Way after party in August. The actress previously dated actor Thomas Kirikroll, while Marshall was linked to singer Katy Perry. Agron is best known for playing Quinn Fabray on Fox's series Glee, which came to a close after 6 seasons in March. She's slated for a number of upcoming films, including Jekyll Island with Anna Sophia Robb, but told Galore in 2014 she won't pursue music. She says, "I guess I have to say no to an album in my future. You never know. It'd be nice to get into stuff that was more me, though I have loved everything I've had the chance to sing on Glee. I'm lucky, really." Marshall is the banjoist in Mumford & Son and last released Wilder Mind with the band in May. The record debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 charts and included the singles Believe and The Wolf. Television personality and transgender advocate Caitlyn Jenner, who co-authored a memoir explaining in details her high-profile transition from male to female. It was announced Tuesday. Produced by Grand Central Publishing and co-written by the writer behind Jenner's Vanity Fair debut, Buzz Bissinger, the book follows the successful development of Jenner's ongoing docuseries, I Am Kate. The 66-year-old Jenner said in a statement, "Things have been moving so quickly that it will be nice to slow things down a bit and take the proper time to reflect on this journey. I couldn't pick a better team in Grand Central and Buzz to make sure the story is told with a lot of honesty and care." Still untitled, the upcoming memoir may hit shelves as early as spring 2017. News of the new memoir, which New York Times reported is speculated to have fetched a 7 or 8 figure price, comes shortly after Jenner discussed the upcoming second season of her popular E! show, I Am Kate. She said at the Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour, "I want the show to be about the issues. Sure, we all love good clothes and all that kind of stuff, but I really want the people to get to know all of my girls and everybody that's involved with the show. I love my kids. I have a great relationship with all my children, but this is a different show. This is about serious issues, and so I wanted to somewhat keep a distance." And in a related story, Khloe Kardashian says Rob Kardashian's issues started with their father's death. The 31-year-old reality star discussed her reclusive 28-year-old brother on Sunday's episode of Watch What Happens Live. The siblings' dad, Robert Kardashian, died in 2003, and Rob reportedly didn't deal with the loss until years later. Khloe told host Andy Cohen, "I don't think he blames any of us for his problems. We talk about stuff all the time. I think Rob hit a dark place more so dealing with my dad's death that happened later in life. He kind of had no direction. I feel he felt lost at college afterwards. And I think that's when he started dealing with my father's passing. And then breakups and all this stuff happened, which I think added to other things in his life. But it's issues he had to deal with from the start that he just didn't. Rob gained 100 pounds over the past 3 years and has has largely retreated from the spotlight. The 28-year-old appeared to be back on an exercise regimen in the fall, but was diagnosed with diabetes after an emergency trip to the hospital in December. Chloe said last week of Rob's health scare, "Everything happens for a reason. If that's going to make him, shake him up a bit and jumpstart his health journey, then great. I'm right here for him. He's taking it seriously." In addition to her brother, Chloe is dealing with estranged husband Lamar Odom's health problems. The 36-year-old former NBA player was hospitalized for 3 months after being discovered unconscious in the legal Las Vegas brothel and was recently transferred to a new facility. She told Colin of Lamar, "He's fighting for his life, and I really pray that this is a wake-up call for him and he changes his life. His demons are overshadowing what a great heart he has, and I know his soul is still great and he's a beautiful person." Chloe also revealed she and Lamar made a sex tape during their marriage, saying she still has the footage in a safe. Her sister Kim Kardashian famously made a sex tape with then-boyfriend Ray J prior to the family's E-series Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Representatives for Oscar winner Jamie Foxx confirmed that the actor pulled a man from a burning car in front of his home on Monday night. At around 8:30 p.m., Foxx pulled driver Brett Kyle, 32, out of his burning vehicle, which caught fire after it skid off the road and flipped near Foxx's Los Angeles home. A witness said 2 witnesses that were near the collision scene ran to the burning overturned truck in an attempt to free the driver, police told People magazine. One of the witnesses retrieved a rescue tool from his vehicle, allowing the 2 citizens to break the window, cut the seatbelt, and extricate the driver. A member of Fox's team later confirmed his involvement in the rescue to ABC News. They said Jamie didn't hesitate. He jumped out and ran to the car. The driver was arrested for driving under the influence and taken to the hospital after suffering injuries. No other vehicles were involved in the accident. Model Stephanie Seymour was arrested for allegedly driving under the influence and possibly causing a minor crash. The 47-year-old celebrity was apprehended Friday night after reportedly stopping her Land Rover on an off-ramp from I-95 and putting it in reverse, hitting the car behind her. An arrest report obtained by People magazine tells of a strong odor of alcohol from Seymour as she spoke. The report says Seymour refused to take a full field sobriety test. TMZ reports the other driver involved in the collision did not report injuries after the crash. Seymour was reportedly released on a $500 bail and returned to court in February. PBS says it plans to air this fall a documentary about the creation of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Broadway phenomenon Hamilton, which is about Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Hamilton's America combines interviews with experts and prominent personalities, new footage of the production in New York, and cast leads expeditions to D.C., Philadelphia, and New York, a news release said. Synopsis says audiences will sit with Miranda as he composes songs in Aaron Burr's Manhattan bedroom. They'll take a trip to Virginia with Chris Jackson, the African-American actor who portrays George Washington, and watch him place a wreath on Washington's grave as he discusses the difficulty of grappling with our founding fathers' legacy of slavery. Back in New York, Miranda and Leslie Odom Jr., who plays Aaron Burr, visits the Museum of American Finance to get their hands on some 19th century dueling pistols and stage a quick reenactment. Beth Hope, Chief Programming Executive and General Manager of General Audience Programming at PBS, said in a statement Monday, PBS is thrilled to give viewers an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at this sensational and sold-out Broadway musical. With this level of access to Lin-Manuel Miranda and his team, PBS continues to live up to our mission of giving viewers a backstage pass and a front-row seat to the arts. Miranda added, on behalf of the entire Hamilton cast and creative team, many of whom are in the Heights alum, we are overjoyed to be returning to PBS in partnership with Radical Media with this project. We invited filmmaker Alex Horowitz into the room where it happened a few years ago, and he captures part of this journey no one has seen. We can't wait to share it, thanks to PBS. Music and film icon Bette Midler has confirmed she will star in the Broadway revival of Hello, Dolly. Midler tweeted Tuesday, "Yes, I'm taking on the role of the beloved Dolly Levy in Hello, Dolly. We open next year on Broadway." The 7-year-old Divine Miss M, who has won a Tony, Grammy, Emmy, and Golden Globe Awards, last appeared on The Great White Way in 2013's I'll Eat You Last, a chat with Sue Mengers. The Tony Award-winning musical Hello, Dolly, featuring music and lyrics by Jerry Herman, debuted in 1964 with Carol Channing playing the titular matchmaker. Channing also reprised her role in the last Broadway revival of the show in 1995. 1965. Barbra Streisand starred in the 1969 film adaptation, which was directed by Gene Kelly. Midler's film credits include The Rose, Down and Out in Beverly Hills, Hocus Pocus, Ruthless People, Outrageous Fortune, Beaches, The Stepford Wives, The First Wives Club, For the Boys, Gypsy, Then She Found Me, and Parental Guidance. Pearl Jam announced its 2016 North American Spring and Summer Tour on Tuesday. The band released information on its website about the upcoming Pearl Jam 2016 tour of 18 cities. The tour will begin on April 8th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with tickets for most dates set to release on January 29th, while tickets for the April 23rd date in New Orleans are available now. The tour also features multiple dates in Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, and Chicago, as well as a set at the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival in Tennessee. Rolling Stone magazine also reports that $3 from every ticket sold will benefit the band's Vitalogy Foundation, a nonprofit that does work in the fields of community health, the environment, arts, and education and social change. A special pre-sale drawing was also offered for members of the band's official fan club, 10 Club, for people who had active memberships as of January 18th. Legendary musicians Sting and Peter Gabriel will be hitting the road together on a new joint summer tour. Announced Tuesday, the 19-city Rock, Paper, Scissors tour will commence on June 21st in Columbus, Ohio, and end July 24th in Edmonton, Canada. The duo, who first toured together in the 80s as part of Amnesty International's Human Rights Now tour, will feature Sting and Gabriel performing both separately and together as they meld their bands to explore each other's most celebrated hits. Sting said in an official statement, "I'm very happy that we're taking this chance to experiment this way. I think people will be intrigued. I certainly am." Gabriel added, "What intrigues me is that you get a good bunch of musicians together and interesting things will happen." The tour's producer and chairman of Live Nation's global touring division spoke with Billboard about the concert series, calling Sting and Gabriel two amazing, iconic artists with great history. "I have no idea what they're going to do together, but I do know that whatever they do together will feel totally natural and great." Tickets will go on sale starting January 25th on livenation.com. Rapper J. Cole was caught off guard during a recent interview when director Ryan Coogler broke news of his secret marriage to longtime girlfriend Melissa Henholt. During Monday's #MLKNow event in New York City, Creed director Coogler led the interview asking, "How did getting married change you?" The Forest Hills driver rapper-born Jermaine Cole responded to the first-time interview with a nervous laugh, saying, "Oh, what is that? That was like the one thing to not do." Coogler said, "I never interviewed someone before. My bad." Cole reportedly proposed to longtime girlfriend Melissa Henholt sometime last year, but news of their marriage had been kept under wraps. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1993, one of America's most beloved actresses, Audrey Hepburn, dies in her home in Lausanne, Switzerland. The 63-year-old Hepburn had undergone surgery for colon cancer the previous November. Hepburn's most significant work over the last 2 decades of her life was not captured on film. Named as a special ambassador for UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, in 1988, Hepburn traveled extensively raising money and awareness for the organization. Her UNICEF field trips spanned the globe from Guatemala, Honduras, Venezuela, El Salvador to Turkey, Thailand, Bangladesh, and Sudan. In addition to field work, Hepburn was an eloquent public voice for the organization, testifying before the U.S. Congress, participating in the World Summit for Children, and giving numerous speeches and interviews about UNICEF's work. In 1992, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Even after she was diagnosed with cancer, Hepburn continued her travel and work with UNICEF. Mourned by countless fans, she was posthumously given the Jean Herschel Humanitarian Award at the 1993 Academy Awards, which her son accepted on her behalf. In her last screen appearance, Steven Spielberg's Always, 1989, Hepburn played an angel guiding the movie's protagonist to heaven, and the role served as a fitting reflection of the serene goddess's public image during the last years of her life. And as your entertainment report for Wednesday, January 20th, 2016, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeartRadio.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.